All right. So as you come to your mat, let's take a few moments to find a nice, comfortable seated position. And you could start by swaying a little bit from side to side, just getting to know the movement of your spine and feeling the sits bones. All right, so you want to feel rooted here in this moment to whatever surface you're sitting on. And gradually make your way back to some kind of central position, inviting the uprightness to your spine. And take a few exhalations through the mouth. Just relaxing the jaw, releasing your eyes. And then begin to slowly breathe in and out through the nose. And feel that generous rise and fall of your lungs. And as you're noticing the movement of your lungs, breathe slower. And on your next breath, invite your arms up. And feel the side body reach. Start to tone your belly. And focus on the rise and fall of the collarbone and the expansion of your lungs. Keeping the floating ribs, the bottom of your rib cage, in. And then carefully bring your elbows down the sides. And sweep your hands together and up, gazing upward. Start to feel that stretch from your shoulder and also from your lats. Feel the scapula rise and fall. So we're feeling the side body wrapping around towards the front. This protraction of the shoulder. Take nice, spacious breaths. And on your next inhale, interlace your fingers and turn them inside out for Parvatasana. Starting to feel the arms reaching back a little bit, but maintaining that tone of the belly. So lift your abdomen. Right? Feel that reach from the shoulders upward, the reach from the side body, the reach from the interior of the hip. Stretching upward with every breath. And then carefully release your palms out. Release your left hand and reach your right arm up overhead. Carrying the right arm in line with the right ear, let's gaze up towards the palm and start to tug just very gently on your right lung. So you can feel the expansion of the right lung, creating space between all of the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Maybe micro-bending your left elbow, leaning a little bit more into this lateral stretch. And carefully release your right arm, make your way back to center. Let's carry the left arm up and over. And soften the right elbow this time. Again, allow your gaze to lift. And focus on the stretch of your left lung. Very intentional breaths. And then carefully releasing your left arm down, let's reach both hands up again. Bringing the elbows down the sides, join your palms, turn your palms inside out, and reach back up. So backs of your palms are together this time, and you can feel that rise and that lift again. Squeezing the arms in towards the sides of the ears. And then bringing the palms out, let's take the left elbow under the right, joining either the back or the front of your palms together. Elevate, but allow your shoulders to reach down away from your ears. Focus on drawing your elbows forward as you push your forearms together. If your palms are pressing together, push your palms together. So we want to feel, again, this protraction of the shoulder and the stretch between your shoulder blades. See if we can find 3 thoughtful breaths here. Again, depress your shoulders and feel that stretch of the shoulder blade. So shoulders reaching down away from your ears. But the larger muscles that wrap around your shoulder blades move towards the front of the body. And then carefully begin to fold forward with this bind. You might be floating. You might rest your elbows or forearms. Just pause for a moment. And then carefully use the muscles of the back. Releasing your arms out to the sides. Carefully join your palms, reaching back up. Exhale, press your palms out, stretch your forearms. This time it's right elbow under left. Either back or front of palms moving together. And then, once you arrive, push your forearms together. Maybe press your palms together. Shoulders resting away from your ears. Let's see if we can move the head from side to side this time. Just lightly gazing to the left and lightly gazing to the right. Keeping the fingertips lifted towards the sky. And then carefully bring your elbows down, reach your hands out, reaching back up overhead. This time, as you press your palms out, let's take the hands behind the back and see if you can clasp your forearms or your elbows. Taking a nice tight hold, again, shoulders down away from your ears. And relax your jaw. Close your eyes for just a moment and notice that wonderful breath. And as you invite the fullness of the breath, notice the stretch across the pectoral muscles. This broadening in the front of the shoulder. Feel the sides of the rib cage moving outward into space. So instead of just this upward moving breath, you can feel the breath expanding outward into space. Notice how that brings more stretch to the shoulders. Maybe one more breath. And then open your eyes and carefully release your arms. From here, we're going to make our way to Child's Pose Balasana. So any prop that you might be sitting on, just have it off to the side. And we'll come to hands and knees. Make sure that your knees are all the way together in Balasana. Starting now to stretch that side body again. So take time to crawl your fingers forward, feeling the sternum and the collarbone reach forward. And once you root your fingertips in your palms, carefully release your belly and relax your head. Without pushing or forcing, draw the breath down into the bottom of your belly now and begin to expand your diaphragm. And as you feel that rise and fall of your belly, begin to settle a little deeper, starting to drift towards the earth. Feel the heaviness of your torso. And listen to the sound of your breath. And as you're breathing, feel your spine unwind, vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching forward towards the front of the mat. Now carefully, walk your hands back to the sides of the knees and begin to sway from side to side, rocking across to your shin bones, but also moving your spine. So we feel that from the low back, from the lumbar spine, from the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, you feel that movement, and that carries to the mid-back, your thoracic spine. That carries to the shoulders. It carries to the rib cage, to the head and to the neck. You could rise and fall here, right? Drifting from side to side. And then take your time, walk your hands back out. See if you can round your spine, rising up, moving all the way forward to Bhujangasana, upward facing dog. And once you arrive there, lower yourself carefully to the earth. Make your way back to upward facing dog. From here, elevate your hips. Let's press back for our first downward facing dog. Walking the feet slightly closer together, begin to notice the heels reaching back, inviting the shin bones to elevate. And lift your sits bones to the sky, but tone your belly so you feel yourself filling the low back. So filling the kidney, filling the livers. Right, we really want to feel that fullness all the way into the low back, but keep your abdomen really toned. And notice the aliveness and awareness under the armpits as you extend and reach your fingers forward. So your palms are rooted into the earth, but they're pushing forward into the front of the mat. Just let your head rest between your shoulders. And then carefully drop down to the knees. Let's roll the spine again. So cat-like back, all the way forward to upward facing dog. Exhale, lower to the earth. Back to upward facing dog, Bhujangasana. Make your way back to downward facing dog. And once you arrive in Adho Mukha Svanasana, nudge your feet a little closer and see if you can root your heels closer to the earth. Again, looking for that rise of the floating ribs, right? Toning the abdomen, lengthening along the spine. And we'll take time to step the right foot forward, dropping your left knee down. See if you can rest your fingertips, maybe your palms, and shift forward and back. Make sure that your right knee is in line with your right ankle. You could lunge as deeply as you like. If you bring a roundedness to the spine, you might hollow out your belly. That'll give you some space. And the next time that ankle and knee are in line with each other, reach up. Interlace your fingers and stretch your palms up towards the sky. See if you can adduct the inner thighs, squeezing towards the midline. And then reach your hands over to the right side, gazing to the right. And then making your way back to center. Release your elbows down the sides. Place your fingertips carefully on the earth and step forward with your left foot. Let's take a little halfway gaze, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, make your way to forward fold. Pushing through the insteps of the feet, rise to standing. Palms together, big breath, reach up. Exhale, elbows down the sides. Interlace your fingers, turn your hands inside out and reach up again. Gazing up towards the knuckles. Again, tone your belly. Rooted through the insteps of the feet, lengthening even more through the side body. And then tuck your chin and see if you can shift forward and back along the feet. And at some point, rise to the ball of the foot, firming your ankles and your shins. Just breathing here with that uprightness to the spine, lengthen through the side body. Feel that rise of your sternum and your collarbone. Expand your lungs. And then carefully rest your feet, micro bend your knees. Take these interlaced fingers all the way down to the earth. Round your spine, hollow out your belly. As you push into the hands, stretch your arms, stretch your shoulders. Stretch along the back. Bringing the ears right between your shoulders, rooted through the insteps of the feet. Focus on breathing in and out through the nose. And then returning to Parshvabhaga, complete side stretch. Reach those hands all the way up. Gazing up towards your hands. And then exhale, swan dive, make your way to forward fold. Let's take a little halfway gaze, looking out. Make your way to modified Utkatasana. So you're going to bend your knees as you shift to the ball of the foot. Bring your hands together before your heart. And maybe reach up overhead. Toning the muscles of the legs. Again, draw those floating ribs in and up. Do your best to be here for just a moment more. Right, balancing, but still breathing. And then carefully bring the hands out to the sides. Separate your knees, reach your fingers forward, and make your way to a gentle forward fold. So again, you don't have to push or force here. You might come down to your palms or your forearms. Maybe exhalations through the mouth. Notice the roundedness of your spine. And then carefully gaze out, make your way back to your fingers, draw your knees together. Let's make our way to forward fold. Inhale, halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. This time rolling vertebrae by vertebrae to standing. Palms together, reach up. Exhale, elbows down the sides. Join your hands in front of your heart and hop your feet hip width distance. Taking peace sign fingers to your big toes. You can bend your knees if you need to. Draw your elbows out to the side to broaden the scapula. And then as you forward fold, crown of your head is reaching towards the earth. See if you can shift the weight towards the front of the foot, keeping those elbows reaching out, separating between the scapula. Hinging in your hips, think of your belly or abdomen moving towards the upper thigh. Trying to keep the length of the spine rather than rounded. Breathing in and out very slowly. And then take a halfway gaze, and we'll take Pada Astasana B. You're going to tuck your hands right under your feet. Tips of the toes are moving towards your wrist now. This time we round the spine. So hollow the belly again. Tuck your chin and take 5 breaths. Feel your spine reaching towards the ceiling. Feel that stretch of the shoulders. Use the feet to rest weight on the palm, using the feet as leverage here. And then gazing forward, carefully release your hands. Rise up to standing. Exhale, elbows down the sides. Hop your feet together. Join your palms, look up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana. Stepping back to plank pose, Flakasana. Lower to the earth. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Start to bend your knees a little bit here, paddling the knees, shifting your hips. Again, finding that rootedness through the palm, especially between the pointer finger and the thumb. Push the mat forward as you reach your heels back. And then step forward with your left foot, dropping the right knee down. Maybe using your fingertips, perhaps one or both palms. Slowly shift forward and back. Round your spine. Lunging as deeply as you can and lengthening as much as you can. And then once knee and ankle are in line, reach up, interlace your fingers. Turning the hands inside out, gaze to the left, and reach to the left. And then back to center. Bring your elbows down. Let's rest the right palm to the inside of your left foot. Elevate your right knee and reach your left hand to the sky, taking a twist. Focus on the adduction of the inner thighs again. Squeezing in, hugging in, reaching to the sky. And once your left hand comes down, simply walk or jump switch your feet. From there, rooting your left palm, take your right hand to the sky. Try and stack your shoulders. Find that elevation of your left knee, lunging deeply into the right hip. Find the fullness of your breath. And then carefully bringing the right hand down, step forward to the front of the mat. Make sure your feet are all the way together. Clasp behind your knees. As you grab your forearms or your elbows, let your head rest towards the earth. Feel the back of the legs pushing into the arms and the arms pushing into the legs. Continue to feel yourself unwinding. So crown of the head is reaching towards your toes. And then root firmly into the feet and see if you can separate your femur bones from each other. So from above the knee, feel the legs moving away from each other. It's going to give you an opportunity to broaden your pelvis. Keep hinging in your hips and actively separating the legs from each other as you root down firmly into the feet. And then see if you can gaze forward. This time, we're going to sit on the hands and rest on the ball of the foot. See if you can take just a few breaths here. So feel the legs squeezing around the arms. And then carefully, with control, release your hands. Make your way back to modified Utkatasana. Arms reaching up overhead. And this time we're just going to jump back. So you can place your palms and give yourself a little jump back. Lower to the earth. Make your way to upward facing dog. And we'll arrive in downward facing dog. Let's take the right leg high to the sky. Bringing the right knee towards the elbow. Just hover for a moment. And then carry it back to the sky. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, right knee towards the elbow. Nice inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Big breath, up and back. Carrying the right foot forward for high lunge, palms together, reach up. Exhale, bring your elbows down the sides. Taking hold underneath your right knee, lunging a little deeper. Keep the lift and elevation of your left knee. Let's take 3 breaths. And then carefully bring your arms in line with your ears, reaching forward. Releasing your left heel down, let's rise for Warrior 2. And once you arrive in Virabhadrasana 2, root through the outer edge of your left foot. Feel yourself lunging a little bit more. Make sure you can see the toes off the right foot. And then carefully straightening the right leg, let's make our way to Utthita Trikonasana. As you reach forward, maybe peace sign fingers to your right big toe. Maybe hand on the shin, but actively reaching through the left side body. Feel your hips and pelvis move forward as your shoulder and your head move back. And then rising back up, let's return to high lunge. Arms reach. Exhale, we'll take a vinyasa. Hands come down. Maybe floating the right leg as you lower. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Once you arrive, take your left leg high and bring your left knee to your elbow. Let's try again. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, hugging in. Big breath, reach and stretch. Left knee to elbow. This time as you reach and stretch, step it forward for high lunge. Palms together, reach up overhead. Bringing the elbows down the sides, fold forward. Clasp underneath your left knee. Keep extending your right knee up and back. Gazing lightly off your mat. Sinking into that left hip. And then reaching those arms forward in line with your ears. One line of energy. Carefully, rest your right heel, rise for Warrior 2. And then straightening the left leg, reaching forward. Maybe left hand to the shin bone. Maybe peace sign fingers to your left big toe as you reach to the sky. Again, try and rotate your rib cage upward. Try and stack your shoulders. Drawing your hips forward, your head back. Think of the line of energy from the very top of the head, extending down the spine and outward through the right heel. And then micro bend your knee and come back, warrior two. Rotate back to high lunge. Take your vinyasa, hands come down. Maybe float your left leg back. Lower to the earth. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Now gazing towards your palms, see if you can hop right behind your hands. Keep your feet wide. And make your way to malasana. So as your hands reach forward, we come to a squat. Join the palms, use your triceps, and push them into your shins, inviting you to sit deeper, right? Bringing that uprightness to your spine. And if you need to be on the ball of the foot here, that's okay. Just do your best. Now interlace your fingers and reach your hands forward in line with your ears. And then carefully press into the feet, rising up to standing. Exhale, arms out. Interlace your fingers. Stretch and reach up. Come back to malasana, arms in line with your ears. And then hands back in front of heart. Let's take 3 more breaths, maybe shifting from side to side. And interlace, reaching back up. Exhale, hands out. Hop your feet together. Inhale, reach up, look up. Make your way to forward fold. Gaze and lengthen, nice long lengthened spine. Plant your palms, step back for plank. Lower to the earth. Upward facing dog. Let's move to child's pose now. And then flow a little bit. So rounded spine, forward to upward facing dog. Exhale, lower. Try and stay low to the earth. Lift your belly and push back to child's pose. See if you can try that 3 times. Rounded spine, forward and lower. Lift your belly. Stay low, push back. Once more, rounded spine, lower to the earth. Lift your belly, push back. And then rising to tabletop. Just do a few rounds of cat-cow. Focus on broadening the shoulders. Focus on toning the belly. Focus on the movement of each vertebrae. Nice deep breaths as you gaze forward. And exhale as you round your spine. Now from here, tuck your toes and push yourself up and back for downward facing dog. See if you can lift that right leg high. As you bring your right knee towards your nose, cross your right knee in front of your left and root back into your left heel. Let's take 3 breaths here. Try and squeeze that right heel towards your left hip. Doing your best to keep your knees aligned with each other. Continue to root in the palms. Stretch and lengthen along the spine. Just allowing your head to rest between the arms. Focus on your breath. Now carefully, draw the right knee forward. Once you set it down, invite your left knee behind it and see if you can push back towards your heel. You might just stay on your forearms, hinging in your hips, and that's okay too. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now, carefully rise up to the tops of the knees, and if you can, start to rise up, bringing the hands together in prayer. You might decide to stay on your palms today. If you decided to stay down, you could do a few rounds of cat-cow there. Otherwise, extend your arms up overhead. Feel your pelvis moving forward, opening up the front of the hips. Maybe lift your drishti towards your thumbs. If you are reaching, I want you to take your hands out to the sides. Bring your right elbow under your left, joining back or front of your palms, and reach your hands back up to the sky. Try for 2 more breaths. You might be on hands and knees, rounding your spine still, and that's okay. Focus on where you are. And then carefully, if you're binding the hands, reach those hands out. Hinge in your hips, bring your hands back. Stretch your left foot back, cross your right knee in front of your left again. And then step forward to the front of the mat with your right foot. Inhale, reach up overhead. This time, push your palms back. Interlace your fingers. Rise and open up your shoulders. From there, take your time. As you bow towards the right knee, see if you can bring your right shoulder towards your right knee. Lifting your hands up towards the sky, using your breath. Feel the shoulders reach away from the ears. Maybe 2 more breaths. And then carefully, lift your gaze, drop your left knee down, sweep your hands up. Exhale, bring your fingertips to the ground, and see if you can lengthen your right leg. Let's see if you can forward fold here. Maybe taking your hands out to the sides as you take your forehead or chin towards your shin bone. Don't worry if you don't get there. Just moving in that direction. Coming back to a lunge in the right knee, sweep your hands up overhead. Exhale, fingertips come down. Tuck your left toes, send your right leg high to the sky, and move forward for plank, lower to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Make your way to downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg high this time. Just breathing there for a moment. And then left knee, moving towards your forehead. Cross in front of your right. Squeezing that left heel up towards your right hip. Doing your best to root back into the right heel. Pushing in the insides of the hands, so pointer finger and thumb rooted firmly, pushing into the earth. Tone your belly. Lengthen your side body. Practice your breath. Deep, slow, controlled, thoughtful breaths. And then carefully, left knee forward, join your right knee behind it, and try and shift back. That might be to the forearms, that might be hips resting towards your heel. Exhale through your mouth, softening into the space. Slow down the rate of your heart. Regulating the respiratory system. Breathe slowly. And then carefully use your palms, shifting to the knees. You might stay here working on cat-cows. All right? Otherwise, see if you can rise, joining the palms together before your heart. Keep moving forward, opening up the front of the hips. Maybe reaching to the sky, gazing towards your thumbs. And if that's available for you, bring your hands out, cross your left elbow under right, Front or backs of palms together. Maybe lifting the gaze. Take 3 more breaths. And then carefully, elbows come down, arms reach out, hinge in your hips, bring your hands back. Send your right foot back, cross your left knee in front of your right, and then step forward for high lunge. Palms together, big breath reaching up overhead. Bring your elbows down the sides. Inhale, big breath, reach up. Hands reach back, interlace and open. Take your time. Left shoulder traveling towards your left knee. Arms reaching up to the sky. And then gazing out, release your hands. Hands reach up, drop your right knee. Interlace your fingers, big breath, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come out. Once you place your palms, stretch your left leg, maybe rooting the palms. Hinging in your left hip. Try and sit deep in that. And then from there, gradually unwind your spine. Right? If the collarbone makes it towards the shin, maybe the crown of the head makes it. Right? Folding wherever you are, you could take your hands out if that's more comfortable. Find your balance, find your breath. And carefully lift your gaze, shift forward into the left knee. Place your palms forward, use your fingertips here. Elevate your right leg high to the sky. Bring your right knee towards your forehead. Inhale, look out, reach out. Exhale, knee towards the forehead. Big breath, inhale, look out, reach out. Exhale, knee towards your forehead. This time as you reach out, maybe bring one or both hands to your left shin bone as you continue to forward fold. Just doing your best here. Right toes are in towards your shin. Keep that elevation, but keep your hips nice and level. And bring your hands back to the earth. From here, as you invite your right foot in, we pull it high into the hip socket. So you're retracting that femur bone. Rise it up. Keep your legs straight. Keep your foot lifted. Try for 2 more breaths. Still lifting. And then carefully, place your foot. Inhale, halfway gaze. Exhale, forward fold. Rising up to standing. Palms together, reach up. Swan dive. Once your hands rest, send your left leg high. Bring your left knee towards your forehead. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale towards your forehead. Once more, inhale. Exhale, crunch. Big breath, left leg extends. One or both hands to your right shin bone. You can work on one and work on that forward fold. And whatever you've chosen, bring your hands back, come to your fingertips. As you invite your left leg in straight, lift it high. Keep breathing. And then plant your foot, palms together, reach up. Exhale, arms out. Hands together before your heart, hop your feet hip width distance. Take your arms back out. Right elbow under left. Back or front of palms together. Make your way to forward fold. Feel the heaviness of your arms here. Start to exhale just through the mouth. Heavy, heavy, heavy with the spine. Releasing the belly. Feel the stretch of the shoulders, the weight of your torso. Even the eyes are heavy and the jaw is heavy. And then vertebrae by vertebrae, rising back up. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms out. Left elbow under right. Back or front of palms together. Making your way to forward fold. Passively forward folding. And then carefully rise up. Arms reach up. Hands come out to the sides. Shift your weight to your right foot and elevate your left knee. Now think about rotating your shin bone towards the right side. Draw your foot forward towards the right corner of the mat. See if you can come down to bending your knees, making your way to balance. It could be anywhere along the way. If you're comfortably rested, come back to binding the arms. Arms out. Left elbow over the right. Back or front of palms together. Reaching those hands up. Good. Elbows down and out. Left elbow under right. Back or front of palms together. Inhale, reach. Good. It's wonderful to play in gravity. Arms out. Hands come back down. Make your way back to both feet on the mat. Feet are hip width distance. Clasp your elbows and sway from side to side. Make sure your feet are parallel to each other and the sides of the mat. And then roll all the way up to standing. Join your palms. Shift your weight to your left foot. Elevate your right knee. Drawing that right shin bone and heel to the left side. Toes reach forward towards the left corner. Step wide enough to give space for your knees. Come down to some kind of balance. It could be halfway, it could be all the way. Arms reach out. Right elbow on top, left under, back or front of palms together, reaching up. Breathe. Good, moving in gravity again. Arms out. Right elbow under left. Back or front of palms together, reaching up. And arms out. Exhale. Bring your hands to the ground. Step back to center. Inhale, halfway gaze. Heel toe your feet together. Separate your heels now. Big toes touch. Bend your knees, knees touch. Utkatasana, palms together, reaching up for chair pose. Keep that line of energy, fingertips, shoulders, hips, and heels in line. Lifting the rib cage. Stretch your breath. And keep the bend in the knees. Make your way to forward fold. Inhale, click your heels together, look out. Step back for plank, lower to the earth. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left leg high, step forward. Right leg high. Bring your right knee in towards your nose. Swing your shin bone forward and have a seat. Once you have a seat, hug your left knee in towards your belly. Just take a few exhalations through the mouth again, slowing everything down. And then carefully twist to your left side. As you come back to center, simply externally rotate the left knee. Keeping your pelvis level, begin to fold forward. Choosing your variation. Hands could come to the shin bone, maybe the side of the foot. If you are a binder, your right arm is the reacher, your left hand is your grabber. Hinge in your hips, keep the spine long and lengthened. Don't worry about getting your forehead to your shin. Gradually, from the hip, from the sternum, and then maybe the chin or forehead. Take your gaze forward. If you're binding, you don't let go. You just reach forward and rise up. Otherwise, just reach. Exhale, hands come out. All right, if you are not binding today, I want you to just grab the bottom of your left foot or of your right foot and reach it to the sky. If you would like to try the bind, you're going to reach to the outside of your right foot. Left hand clasps your wrist. And then you push your foot into your hands as you reach your right leg to the sky. Either variation is perfectly fine, just doing your best. Once you decide which hand grip is best for you, draw your shin bone towards your forehead and take 3 breaths. This is a variation of Kranchasana, our heron pose. And then carefully release your leg, bring your hands down, hop on top of your left heel, make your way back to forward fold for 3 more breaths. This is Janu Shirsasana 2 or B. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's bend the right knee, push yourself forward, stretch your right leg back. 3-legged downward facing dog, left leg high to the sky. And set it down. Inhale, right leg high. Step forward with your right foot. Left leg now elevates to the sky. Left knee moves towards your forehead. Swing your shin bone forward and have a seat. Hugging the right knee in towards your belly. Keep the uprightness of the spine. And carefully rotate to the right side. And as you come back, make sure that your hips are level. Don't pull your right hip back. Keep it level. Externally rotate from the right knee. Don't worry if the knee touches the ground or not. As you hinge forward, your knee may rest towards the earth. Choose your variation. Hands on your shin, side of your foot. If you're binding, this time your left arm is the reacher, right hand is the grabber. Think about hinging from your hips first. Right? Along the way, moment by moment, breath by breath. Bring an honesty and a purity to your practice. Where are you right now? Where is your breath right now? And reach your arms up if you're binding. Keep your bind, reach your hands up. Exhale, hands come out to the side. Choose your variation for your foot. Clasping the sides of the foot and reaching, or reaching to the outside of your left foot with your left hand. Use your right hand to grab your wrist and stretch your leg to the sky. From there, sit really tall. Draw your belly, right? We're hinging from the hip socket. And maybe forehead moves towards your shin. Just do your best. And then stretch your leg, release, hop onto your right heel. This is Janu B. Inhale, arms reach up, come to forward fold. Take 3 last breaths here. Reaching up. Exhale, hands come out and down. Step your left foot back. Reaching back with your right foot. Left leg high to the sky. And place it on your mat. Shift forward for plank pose. Lower. Upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Hop your feet to the front of the mat. Have a seat. Roll to your back. Take a nice full body stretch. Everything reaching. Elevate your chin. Inviting curvature to the low back. Breathe deeply. And then exhale, compress all the way down, rooting your sacrum. Inhale, big breath, find the curvature. Exhale, rooting the entire back. One more time, inhale, big breath. Exhale, closing the rib cage, navel in, rooting the small of your back all the way to the earth. And then pull your knees in. Rock slowly from side to side. Maybe all the way to the outer edges of the shoulders. Coming back to those exhalations through the mouth. Softening everything. And then finding a central space. Carefully rest your feet. Take your arms out to a T. Let your knees rock from side to side. Start to move your head from side to side, releasing your skull. And then choosing today whichever is suitable for you. You can take Supta Baddha Konasana. That would be bottom of your feet together with your knees resting outward. Or just extend your legs out. Whichever variation that you've chosen, start with the exhalations through the mouth. See if you can draw your shoulder plates, your scapula, just a little closer together. And once you feel balance, fully release your belly. All the muscles of the face release. The eyes, the nose, the jaw. Release your tongue. And release the roof of your mouth. And as you release the center of your throat, release your arms from your shoulders all the way out to the tips of your fingers. Even softer along the rib cage. Softer along the spine. And again, release your belly. And as you release your belly, release all the organs within the torso. Just welcoming the heaviness of your hips. And from the hip sockets, extending outward, releasing behind your knees. Releasing your shins and your calves and the bottom of your feet. And then inward fold to your breath. honoring a moment of stillness, honoring the spaciousness within, and the vibrancy and aliveness of your breath. Let this moment be simple. And you are more than welcome to continue to rest here if you want today. Otherwise, if your knees are out, separate your toes first and draw your knees together. Releasing the legs back to the earth. Very slowly move your head from side to side. Very slowly move the tips of your fingers. And move your toes. And tap into that internal space that knows gratitude and a sense of Shanti, peace for your being. Make your way to a final full body stretch. And as you hug your knees in, choose whichever side of the body is most appropriate to roll to today. And eventually, make your way to some kind of seat. Joining the hands together before the heart, bowing to that internal space, knowing your divine essence, honoring the light, the radiant light within, and the spaciousness of this moment. Hold a sense of loving kindness and self-care for your being. And extending that outward to all beings and all things. And knowing the connectedness to all beings and all things, I thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your practice today. Hope you enjoyed. I see someone. Yes, I see Stephen Leinard's wife. Is that correct? So wonderful to have you in practice with me.
I was so glad that you were doing an online practice. So.
Yes. Yes. So, and congratulations on selling your home. Yeah, it's a big change, right? Where are you moving?
Lexington.
Oh, is it? I've never been there.
I've been twice. So I think it looks nice.
Okay. Why the move?
Just job.
Okay. That makes sense. I thought, wow, they found somewhere that they just fell in love with and decided to move.
That fight is lovely.
Yeah. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, John. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Miss Margaret. Is that Margaret or Eva today? Hi, Margaret. Thank you.
Wednesday.
Thank you, Margaret.
They're coming tonight.
Okay, I'll see them tonight.
Bye.
All right, happy Wednesday, Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Bye.
Be well.